Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, fellow peregrinos, hospitaleros, if you are there as well. Um, just to carry on with all the information I've given you, of some of the information from the starting office in Saint Jean, your card, your car name to be stamped all the way, and then I explain about the arrow. So you know what the arrow will do. The arrow will only take you in the direction you're supposed to be going, but with the arrow comes the shell, this one. Okay, so the shell, to put it simply, it's an indication that you are on the right route. You are on the St. John, St. James way all the way to Santiago. That's all it is, yes. And how that came about is, before I go to how it came about, when you see them en route, when you see it on a sign, both of them, the arrow and this, what you do is you follow the arrow, what the direction that the arrow is pointing, not the shell. The shell could be that way sometime, and then sometime it'll be that way. So you will see it as you go. You will see them as you go, yeah. But ignore where the shell is pointing. Look for the arrow. The arrows are your direction to take you to Santiago. I already explained in the previous video how the arrows came about. You know, the priest decided he's going to paint the roads so that you and I, when we're walking, we know where we're going with this. Now, the shell has got a longer story than the arrow, okay? So when it first started, think of all the first Pellegrinos hundreds of years ago, before you, before me, and the road is called St. John, Santiago. The way, you know, the way to Santiago is St. John. Santiago is James. James is, you know, James, and it is Jacques in French, which is happened to be me. So I wasn't aware of all these facts when I got there until I got there. I says, oh, we're going on your way. I thought, what do you mean? He says, oh, you're Jacques, aren't you? And then I had to find a little bit more about it. Anyway, if you know your Bible, you know that James was one of the saints, you know, one of the disciples of Jesus. And then when Jesus went up to wherever he went to, his disciples went around the world. And St. James turned out into Europe, that side of Europe, Spain, etc. And very long story short, this is where he met his demise. He died there. And his body was being taken somewhere, wherever it was. And the ship it's supposed to be in, not shipwreck, yes. So it went over some rock cliff or whatever it was. And then his body was taken from there and put into the cathedral, or it was buried there. Now, it's said that where it would crash, it was full of those shells. Okay, full of those shells. Now, when people wanted to go to Santiago to, you know, look at his body or at his tomb or whatever it was, they didn't have a route. So people will come from various places all over Spain, all from around the world, etc., etc. And they will follow a given route. You know your way from your house to your shop or whatever it is. There's no sign there, you know it. So people would know, and then you pass on messages to the next person. Oh, when you go up there, turn left and then turn right. You see the big tree, and then carry on until you get down there. Now, if you get the person in the village who's never left the village before and never gone anywhere but wanted to go to that pilgrimage, what would happen is that person would go and disappear for 30, 40, 50 days, whatever it was. And then they come back. When they come back, they say, oh, where have you been? So I've been on the pilgrimage. I went to blah, 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 blah. And I said, no, you're so lazy. You could never walk down the road without complaining. You can't work on the field without complaining. How did you do that? And their way of showing that they have been there and back was to show this. Because when they got there, they pick one of those and return. So they showed that to people, okay? But along the way also, people have lost them. You know, they carry them, you lose them along the way. And then gradually, think hundreds of years now, people have been walking similar route, or they have learned from somebody else where to go. These shells must have been dropped they must have been dropped on route. And those shell there, because everybody knew, oh, those shell come from, you know, Santiago, where St. James is buried, that must be the route. And it became the route of St. James. And that's it. Now we do it in reverse. Yeah, we don't go to the sea and come back with a shell. Before you start, you get one of those, you put it on your back, and what basically happens is when you're going from village to village, people will know who you are by now. Don't be surprised if people see you as a pilgrim, or you haven't got an albergue, you haven't been away somewhere, you don't have anywhere to sleep. Somebody will say, you know, come into my house, feed you, you know, give you a bed for the night, etc. And then the next morning give you breakfast and you say goodbye to them. All due because you're a pilgrim, and then on that shell is going to be on your back. And that's it. So if you've got a bit of history behind it, and you know the reason why you're doing it, you know, it's good. This is not a holiday to Mallorca or New York or wherever you go for your holidays. It's not. It's something a bit more in-depth. So when you go there, the least you could do is to find a little bit more about it. I didn't know anything when I started. It's only when I got there I realized there was a story there. And I started to read more about it and discover more about it, yes? Now, here's the thing. You and I are now continuing that tradition and the history behind this, because all those pilgrimage, you know, those pilgrims that went on before you hundreds of years ago, they walked the same route to go to your destination in Santiago. Now, we are linked to those people now because we are part of that history. Started in wherever you started from, and then you're doing the same journey to go down there. So it's a continuous loop that's going to carry on for however long it's going to take until somebody decides, this is a bad idea, we're not going to do it anymore. Even if that happened, people will find a different route to just go and do there. So you and I are part of history now. When I discovered that, what I also decided is this is a special link. When you get to Santiago, you're going to realize, my God, you've done something incredible. And all those people around you will feel exactly the same. And you've got this special bond that you can't get at your place of work, your family, anybody else. Those people you're going to see who've done it with you become very special. And for me, the only thing I could think of was we are now brothers and sisters in this fantastic feat that we did that we know a lot of people can't do. Okay? And I've met so many people, and as a life coach, I look at them physically and I think there's no way. But I realize then physicality has got nothing to do with it. It's all in your head. If you're prepared and you say to yourself, I'm going to do this, you will do it. So don't be surprised when you see all types of different people down there. So congratulations, all of you. And I envy you, and I encourage you to just carry on. Find this new zeal, you know, this new set of confidence that is going to give you to get down there. And remember a little bit of the story as well. So, my brothers and sisters, that was about the shell. Enjoy your journey, buen camino, and I will probably see you somewhere. I don't know. I mean, do you think you're ever going to see people on my journeys as a walker and then as a helper volunteer? I met the same person 3 times. I thought, this is incredible. So there's something there. If you believe in faith, you believe in things like this, you say, okay, there is something there, so you need to do something about this. And that's what I'm doing. Thinking, oh, is that special calling or what? You know, you don't know. You know, I've changed my mind about so many things. What I don't know is you do not know what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay, so good luck, and I'll see you soon.